Welcome to this week's episode of 30 Old, 30 Young, the podcast where we try to decide, are these the good old days or are these days getting old? You know? Don't like it? I think that's a good tagline.
No, I don't like it.
Are these the good old days or are these days getting old? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I know it's one of those, it's a grower.
It's a grower.
Because you're like, these are the good days, and I'm like, my fucking knees hurt, you know? One of them.
But you're not, are you really?
You just heard my knee just popped sitting down, so.
That's true.
But yeah, thank you for joining us again, and thank you for all that who listened last week, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before. Thank you for all those who have liked, subscribed, given us 5 stars. It really helps just shove us up the charts a bit. It really helps just kind of get our name out there a bit more and, you know, direct people our way who want to listen, who want to have a moan, have a gripe, or, you know, live with their head in the clouds like Charlotte in a perfect little world.
Cheers, babes.
Yeah. But today, speaking of perfect little worlds, we're talking about the home.
The home?
Leaving home.
Leaving home. Ooh.
Finding home, and then potentially moving back home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Yeah. So where are you with, like, what is your situation with it? Say you've got...
I mean, I feel like we should ease in slow.
What? I was more thinking, like, so you're growing up, right? You're, like, are you saying, I can't, like, I want to move out straight away at 18, I want to move out, I want to get out of here as soon as possible, or are you like, you should stay until you're ready to leave?
I feel like you should stay till you're ready to leave, for sure. But there's a certain cut-off point, isn't there?
Within reason,
so to speak. But you should hope that your child would want to be working hard to get their independence. Mm-hmm. So there is a cut-off, but I do truly feel that you should feel like you've got your parents' support and feel like it is a home and it's there whenever you need it. Yeah,
exactly. No, well, that's a fun podcast. I already agree with you straight away. But it's the caveat of within reason. Like, when Bryn and Coop get to, like, 18, 19, 20, if they don't know what they want to do, if they don't want... Yeah. I mean, you can not know what you want to do and just jump in something, move to London, move to Cape Town, whatever. Just go out and just explore, do what you want. And you could come back in a few years later and be like, oh, shit, that didn't really work out. But you got to take that leap, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do want to make sure they're ready to take the leap. You know, I want to make sure they've got, like, the harness on and the knee pads and everything, the helmet.
That's the best way.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like that saying, a dog is not... I knew that fucking dogs.
Fucking dogs.
But a dog is for life, not just for Christmas. And the same applies with kids. They are for life. So when you go in to having children, listen, when you go in and say, right, we're going to have kids, you talk to your partner, you go and have children. Mm-hmm. So you've got to know, you've got that responsibility for life. It's not just when they're a little baby and they're all cute and cuddly. Even though there's a lot of work to that where people don't actually understand before they have kids. Mm-hmm. But it's not just about the baby stage. It's about the teenage years when they are being little shits and probably being naughty at school. And it's when they are in their 20s and they are struggling. They don't know where they want to go in life. And they just have no idea. And they have breakups with boyfriends, girlfriends, and they need support. And you're hearing their same old story 50 times and you're like, this is so boring. But you chose to have that kid. You've got to be a parent and bloody look after them.
Absolutely.
Support them.
Absolutely. Like, my parents have always said, like, the house is always there. The home's always there. Like, that will always be a place to go back to if shit hits the fan, if things go wrong, whatever. You know, early on, this is at uni. You know, I had a flop year at Loughborough Uni, and after 7 months at Loughborough Uni, came home, went back home again because I simply wasn't ready for uni. wasn't for me. I mean, and then went back to starting the new year. But I had a place to go back to. Whereas if my parents were very much like you're out there now.
Yeah, but you're in survival mode. Why do you want to start off life in survival mode?
That's it.
Why would you want your kids to be like that? But even if there was none of this, what you hear on social media about, I've thought this since I was 5, 6, 7. I've thought of it all my life.
What?
That, like, you should look after your kids.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, no.
Hot take.
No, I couldn't remember what you were saying then, but I just remember thinking of it.
You was interjecting and being like, you look after your fucking kids, all right?
No, but you were saying, what were you saying? And
I was trying to say it, but you just dived in and been like, are you looking after your kids? No, I'm saying that you always want to give them a place to go back to. But, like, you will also have the parents that will complain like, oh, you don't know how good you've got it. You know, when I was 18, I was chucked out down the coal mines and, you know, that's what I had to do. It's like, yeah, but what you do as a parent, you work to create a life that makes your kids' lives easier. Then your kids will work to make their kids' lives easier. Then it gets easier and easier and easier. So that's why we're not fucking hunter-gatherers anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because we've slowly tried to make life easier. So you need to have that home hub for them to come back to. That's why my parents said they'd never, like, charge me rent or anything like that. They would just... And that's obviously a privileged position to be in. They don't need to, so they won't, if you see what I mean. Because some parents were like, if you're moving back in with your fucking 25-year-old appetite, they're going to be like, you're going to need to fucking cough up some money because, Jesus, I can't afford you
but then
to live
surely you create a kid or you teach them to have manners and to have empathy and to think about the other person where you wouldn't want to take the piss, no?
Yeah, but people...
So when you move home, you're not going to just...
But familiarity breeds contempt, right?
Well, yeah, but gosh,
so people will at first it's like a job, right? Or a job interview. When they go into a job interview, okay, nerves aside, that is the best version really
for sure.
You're going to see of that person. That is where they're going to be trying their hardest to impress you. So if they don't really impress you in the job interview, there's a very good chance they're not going to suddenly start impressing you if you give them the job, right?
Yeah.
They're usually just going to go straight down again.
Yeah.
So when the kid moves home, if at first they'll be like tidying the room and doing all this stuff, blah, 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 looking after stuff. But then eventually they will kind of, they could, if you're not careful, revert back into being a kid again, right? And having stuff picked up for them. And being
but that's where you shouldn't be doing too much for them.
That's where you need to be like, I'm happy for you to be here within reason. How many jobs have you applied for today? None. All right. Fantastic. Why? What are we doing? Because I saw this TikTok of this girl being like, I've moved back home with my parents. They thought I was applying for jobs today. However, I learned how to play Piano Man by Billy Joel. And so and you just see the dad sat there like, he's impressed, but he's like, all day? She's been...
I tell you what, it is hard though, because you don't know what the kid's going to come out like. They could be...
That's it.
They could be an absolute disaster. When it could be just be horrible.
What, straight out from birth?
Well, I don't know, but you can't really control what the personality's going to be like, can you really?
What is it? 50% surrounding, 50% nurture, so it's 0% the kid's fault, really.
Oh.
Because it's where they grow up and which house they grow up in. Like,
yeah, but then
they only grow up on what they see.
Yeah,
right?
but say if they've actually got like a problem which makes them different.
Of course. If there's special needs and they need like EHCPs and things like that, and they need this guidance and counselling, then hopefully they're in a home that sees these things happening and reports it and gets them the help they need and gets them to the places that are available, right? However, special needs children are a small percentage of children, right? So on a whole, I think no matter what, and the home is always open for the kids. Yeah. However, don't take the piss,
Yeah, but that's where you draw the line, and you are a bit stern with them, aren't you?
Yeah, because I think at the same time,
to be stern, you can't just be a walkover.
Yeah, because you're an adult now, right? That's it. You are.
Well, what do you class as an adult?
Well, they are saying it is getting pushed back.
Yeah, I would say it's a good. Probably like 26, 27.
Well, yeah, because
I feel like you get to there because it takes. Say if you don't know what you want to do in your career, it takes time. Like it took me ages to actually get anywhere, to be honest, because I'd start from the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so literally going in, cleaning 10,000 plates. Blah.
And you're hoping you're kind of giving your children the permission and the possibility, if you're helping them out, you're not charging them rent, that they don't have to focus on rent and like the nitty gritty of life. And they can go out and try something else. You're giving them like a safety net, right?
Yeah.
To go out and try and do their own thing.
Well, what annoys me is when you've got parents who are charging board when they can't afford it. That's adding stress to your kids. And why would you want to push them into a water full of crocodiles, full of stress, when you could just be helping them?
But it's the...
I wouldn't charge my kid unless they're in a salary job and they're getting money in. Yeah, okay, then you can be like, oh, well, then they'll take the piss and they won't get a full-time job. They could be lazy and sobbing at home. But I wouldn't... Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? It's a
thin line to tread. Hard.
But then they will see...
ball to tread.
Say for me, for instance, I like to live a good life, and to live a good life, you need money. Mm-hmm. So if I had a kid, they've got to realise that they need to earn it.
You've got to show that hard work makes makes for the things that you've got, right?
Yeah.
But then, it's hard because you want to give your kids absolutely everything.
Yeah, but I don't think I would.
But it's hard because you kind of like.
It's so hard.
But if you're in a position to give your kids everything, you kind of want to do it. But then you also do have to tell them like, this is from from working hard. The reason we have these things is from working hard.
See, yeah, I don't know what I would do to be honest.
But at the same time, would I just like
I wouldn't give them everything because you wouldn't want them to be spoiled.
Yeah.
But I would give them a good home for sure.
Absolutely.
I'd give them a safe haven where they feel they are safe at home, they are happy, they're in a nice environment, and also that I am their biggest supporter in life. And I think as long as you've got those foundations, then you are going to have to put other things in to make sure that they are not being lazy, they're being tidy.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm all for like Bree's all for like let them be free into go into the world and all that kind of stuff. I'm very much for like I want a big plot of land where Bryn's got her family, Coop's got his family, and we've got our house.
We're like so close together,
and we're all just on this massive compound. That is the dream for me. And I know it's mad.
You should have been born into the royal family. They're all like that.
Or like, I don't know, or, having a farm in like the 1930s or something where there's 27 people of the same family living on one place. I just want a big plot of land for them all. And they're all linked, a massive like communal area in the middle. And we can all like, they can run across to granddad's house. They can run across to their auntie's house.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? But
it's in a perfect world because who's she going to marry? This is the other thing. This compound dream could be...
You're adding more into the mix now.
Compound, could be great if she's married a massive knob.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what I'd do if I had a kid and they just married someone that I just did not approve of.
It's one of those, isn't it? Because the more
it's so hard being a parent. This is why I'm just going to stick with my dog.
Mate, right now.
Just buy another dog.
Right now, we're not even doing the parenting bit. We're just doing the surviving part, making sure they get through the day and making sure they're learning how to read and write, that kind of thing. The parenting bit, I'm fucking worried about.
Yeah, when you've got to,
Yeah, because then that's where you've got to like try and steer. Because the more you tell a kid they can't have something, the more they want something, and that will go into sweet and into relationships. If you tell them, like I really don't like that guy, drugs, yeah, that's it. But then it's
money.
Well, it goes one of two ways. Like my parents let me drink from a young age, and
I think I would if I had a kid.
Yeah, but that can go one of two ways. Where they're like, well, and what I would do is I'd drink from a young age with them or like with a few friends at their house, that kind of thing. But, and I say a young age, I was like, 15, 16.
Yeah.
But it would still be in moderation. It would still be like.
Yeah, but you just teach them.
But you're teaching them like, don't go fucking stupid.
Yeah,
right?
because this is a consequence.
But you also,
what happened.
But also, what it's doing is it's saying, Dad's saying, here's my alcohol cupboard. There's no lock on it. It's open. I could have theoretically been making my own drinks every single day. I could have come home from work, post rugby, and just made a fucking Mai Tai. But I didn't because it was there. It was available. But why? Because it's available, so I could have just done it every day. But because it was available, I didn't. And it's a hard line to tread. Because I know people whose parents made everything available to them, and they're having a bad time with it.
Yeah, but do they do that to hide something?
Yeah, what else is going on? Yeah, and it's a fucking minefield. Yeah,
that's it. You could say
God,
something.
just don't want to have any kids. It's a fucking nightmare.
You could go into it.
You're gonna ruin them. You're gonna mess your kids up no matter what you do, right?
This is why I'm terrified.
Give them everything, you'll fuck them up. Give them nothing, you'll fuck them up.
This is why I'm terrified.
Don't have them because you've ruined them. The moment they're born, it's game over.
Yeah, but it's not though, is it?
No, because they're cute and great, and you got to take the wins.
So, for instance, my granny, she left home at 18, went to London to train to be a nurse. She knew what career she wanted. She had very fully supportive parents. She went travelling the world. Maybe was it the world where she went travelling?
The world.
Well, she'd go travelling some pretty places like blooming heck, Granny.
Mars? Where's she going?
Where she went to like where was it? Well, she went to Bali.
I was going to say Bali. That's weird.
She went to Bali. She went to Australia. Where's a very nice place near Australia? That
New Zealand?
Looks like paradise.
Oh, Polynesia. No. Damn, my geography is...
Anyway,
that's for a future episode. Our knowledge weak points. My geography is fucking shot.
But she went to all these places, and in those days, it was just not a thing to do.
It's like Pepiti. She knew what she wanted to do, but got a little bit of travel. She was the OG gap year girl, right? She went out, had a little travel about, came back, nose to the grindstone, get shit done. But the thing is, these days, I think... I was listening on the radio today, they were talking about, like, people that are more likely to be off sick and not wanting to go into work these days are young people. Like 24 to 27-year-olds, they're classed as young people, right? They don't want to work anymore.
Yeah, but
I think it's because...
Is this just society? 'Cause I class myself as young. I am young, people. I maybe...
That's what this podcast is about. We're trying to work out if we are or not. I'm not.
I'm young, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
I've got my dreams still.
Yeah.
Life hasn't crumbled me just yet.
Okay.
But...
It's tried. It's fucking tried.
It tries daily.
Yeah. Kids these days don't want to fucking work.
So, okay.
Yeah. Me and Nepo baby. The kids don't want to work.
I'd be working around the clock if I needed to.
Yeah. But what you've done is... First of all, you're on the property ladder, right?
Yeah, and so is...
I think no. Do you know what the average age to get on the property ladder is in England now?
What?
Guess.
32.
No.
45.
Lower.
40.
Up.
41.
Up one.
42.
42. That's fucking mad. Because when did you get on?
26.
And then I
think I was the first one.
I was 20
Okay.
when I got the flat in Derby.
Right.
Yeah, but I used my student loan. But a student loan back then
but
could buy...
different kettle of fish.
No, but a student loan back then could buy something. A student loan now, because I got a £3,000 student loan, and that went towards a deposit for a flat that was £70,000. Those don't exist anymore.
Wow, yeah, there is a bit of a crisis on
And
that point, for sure.
because rent's up as well, you can't really get yourself out the hole.
Yeah.
And also, what kind of mortgages can you get these days? When I did that flat, I was on a 5% mortgage. You can't get that these days. Nothing.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? It
Yeah.
is a hard one. And that's why you need to bring up your kids to understand budgeting, understanding finances, to make sure you're helping them so they're not in survival mode when they're living at home. So you're helping them with the savings, charge them a bit of board when they've got a job, but put it into a savings account for them.
I've seen that as well. Yeah, you charge them rent, but then you never cash it, and it becomes like money for their first car or something.
Yeah, exactly. For
and
sure.
that shows
But you do things, you help them.
Because people do the charge and rent thing to be like, when I'm not around, you need to realize this is a thing you're going to have to pay for every single month, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
However, in hindsight, if I'm not around, that means the kids have got a mortgageless house, so they won't have to pay rent.
Yeah.
So that's what their fingers crossed for. So and then moving back in, where are you at with that? You're 65 years old.
I mean,
and your 20-year-old, let's do the maths. 20-year-old is like, I'm coming back. I went away. I'm coming back.
If they are struggling in life, my door is always open, as it is to anyone in life. My door is always open to anyone.
Don't you taking in strays?
I mean, no.
That's
my friends.
That's every fucking. That's
family.
Every murder podcast.
Sorry.
She lights up a room.
Right,
she was always taking in strays.
No, but I would. Yeah, friends and family. My door is always open for sure.
Okay.
And it's the same for kids. Why would you say no? You're not coming home. Bolt the door up. Why would you do that?
It's mental.
Like, you had that. You chose to fucking have that person.
Yeah.
So
they would have to do something so heinous, so egregious for me to not talk to them or not let them in and stay. They would have to have, the last time I invited them, have killed someone in the house. That's probably the only way I'd be like, no, you can't come in because after what happened last time, no. That's the only way. I can't imagine what
again, it's
Cooper Bryn would do.
Though, isn't it? Because again, if you've got a vile relationship, it's toxic and it's just not good. Because I know people who are in that position where they have been an absolute dick and their parents could never have them back again because it would cause them immense stress. There's always a line, but I think if it's just a normal, happy world, you've got a good relationship with them, they are decent people, come home.
Let them save up a bit. Yeah, because at the same time, if you've had a son and then over time grows up to hate you and just becomes this massive, angry 6'3" unit bloke in your house who can't stand you,
exactly,
you're not going to want to be around it.
That's it, yeah. But there is always times where you do have to draw a line, for sure.
Yeah. But I just hope I don't think I'm hoping, touch wood, it never gets to a drawing the line point because you just don't push that. I think, the amount of run-ins I've had with mum and dad, like, it's never gone past the point where they're not opening the door.
Yeah,
they're not
100%.
wanting, open the door for a conversation to patch things up. Because if you don't resolve something, you're just going to repeat it.
Yeah.
You have to talk about it. So that's what I would have to do. You talk about it and be like, if you are going to come back here, we got to set in some rules. Yeah, it is, like we've said, it's a minefield. You can move your kid back in and it can go well and you really give them a good platform to launch them from, or they don't ever leave and you've got, a third wheel in your house. But it's also your kids. So, they say you spend 75% of the time you're going to spend with your kids by the time they're 6 years old.
Yeah, of course.
So everything else after that is a bonus, right? So I see, unless they're just horrible to be around, which, means that me and Brie are horrible to be around because they are the best of us. It's got to come from somewhere.
Absolutely.
So if they are horrendous to be around, then that's just what we've got to have to deal with and try and sort out. Because we've got to sort it out somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when else can you do it except when you're all living together again? So you and I, we are in our happy clappy head in the clouds that no matter what, our kids can move back home, no matter what they've done, no matter anything. No, basically, our doors are open to friends and family and all that lot. Our doors are open. However, you've got some kids that you'd probably close the door on or keep the door open for. We got to decide.
Oh gosh, sorry, I'm reading this one. Is
it dark?
I think yeah.
Fuck it, try it. So we're gonna listen to some stories of other parents going through this dilemma of should they stay or should they go when it comes to their kids moving in, moving out. And we're going to see where we're at with it.
Right, so I've got a mother. My 25-year-old daughter and her boyfriend recently faced a 40% rent hike and couldn't afford their apartment. They planned to move in with his parents temporarily, but they won't let her. She proposed moving back in with us for 6 months to save up. My husband and I feel she should learn to be independent and not rely on us. She offered to pay rent, but would only accept it if she covered the full market rate plus utilities, which would leave her unable to save. Now she's sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 people, some of whom she doesn't trust. She's been distant lately, and I'm worried this is affecting our relationship.
Yeah, no shit.
Fucking hell.
So, hey, Dad, I want to, if possible, can I move back home for 6 months? Because if I save 6 months of rent, say she's spending 1,500 quid. Let's say she's in a capital city. She's spending 1,500 quid minimum a month, right?
Yeah.
So she's theoretically going to save, if she's being realistic and she actually does set that rent money aside, she's going to save well over 10 grand. Could be a deposit on something outside of a city. Anyway, it gives her money. It gives her an opportunity to get out there. And he's gone, yeah, you can save outside of basically paying me the rent instead.
Honestly.
Oh, what do you mean you're mad about that? Why? It's not. It's unreasonable.
But this is my prime example where parents, you choose to have a child,
and if
you've got to be there. Yeah, but you're a parent for life.
No. But I'm saying if let's say they downsize and they're in a 1-bed flat, and they're like, can we move in? And like, we don't actually have the room for it. Different story.
Yeah, but they.
But then I'd be like,
She wants to come home for 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. 6 months.
Like,
you're gonna be with your daughter again. But however, was it their daughter or daughter-in-law?
Their daughter.
Because they said they wanted to move in. She was going to move.
Her boyfriend, the daughter's boyfriend.
Oh, they asked the boyfriend's parents, and they said no immediately.
I think it might be to her. Yeah.
Big red to her.
Yeah, they don't want her to live there.
Well, that's a big red flag. So she might be a bit of a shit.
No, it could just be shit parenting on both parts.
No, but they're well within their rights to be like, you can move back, son, but your girlfriend, not sure about it. It is because it's still girlfriend,
home.
Right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
However, to teach my daughter a lesson to the detriment of her safety is nuts. But like, you will learn. I know you're living with 6 people you don't trust, but you're going to learn either this way or the hard way. Like, I would rather. It just boggles my mind.
It actually makes me so angry.
Yeah.
I just feel so sorry for people.
Yeah, truly.
Because so many people have kids when they shouldn't be a parent.
Well, because people when like the kids get to 18, they're like, parenting done.
Yeah, but it's not.
See ya. Yeah.
Life is hard.
They're going to come back,
you need your parents there.
Especially with the current climate. Your kids are going to be back. They can't afford shit. They're going to be back.
If there's anyone on this listening to this podcast now who's not got kids, who's thinking about kids, wanting a baby because it looks cute, have a think.
Think about that spare bedroom.
Have a think. It's not just for like a few years. It is for life, and you're gonna need to be that strong person in their life.
You dream about that man cave.
Who is always gonna be there.
Get over it. Where's your Peloton gonna go? Nowhere. The kids are back. You're gonna have to sell your Peloton because the kids are
money.
back
You
in.
might need to help them financially.
Gonna give them money? No.
You might have to help them financially at some point.
Do you think that parents that don't let their kids come back are just annoyed at themselves because they see themselves as a failure for not setting their kids up properly for life.
No, I think they're selfish. I think they want.
So I was just trying to give like a little bit.
They're selfish.
Trying to give a little bit of psychoanalysis on it.
Selfish.
No,
they're absolutely selfish.
Yeah,
for sure.
I want another one.
Okay.
I want you to find one where I'm like, yeah, fuck that. They're not. That kid's the worst.
Do you know what? I really do hope that her daughter was okay.
Well, I hope so too. Living with 6 people, Christ.
I mean, I did do that once.
Yeah, it happens. My friend,
I did have a very good time.
Yeah, I went to my friend's house in London. He was doing the, living with 17 people in a shitty flat and, trying to make it in film and TV. And now he's doing really well for himself. And he had a cracking time. He's a very sociable guy, so he does well in that kind of stuff. But, like, he had to do that thing to afford to live in London. And his rent was still stupid. But he's now doing really well for himself. So he's what is it? Suck it and see. The way I'm looking at it is you can be in a flat with multiple people and have a good time. However, like, how long do you have a good time for?
Yeah.
Like, will it, because there's going to be a roommate honeymoon period, isn't there? Where everything's great. Oh, we're going out every night and stuff like that. And then at some certain point, it's going to be like, you don't go out one night. They all come back absolutely pissed. You're like, can they shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
So kids have got to go through that. Like, I did it at uni. I'm on a floor with 6 people.
Here's another one. You ready?
Oh, right. Yep.
My husband and I have 2 grown kids, a 26-year-old daughter and a 28-year-old son. Our daughter struggled with anxiety after college, spent time living with us, and eventually gained confidence to get a job and her own apartment.
There we go.
Recently, she lost her job and broke up with her boyfriend. Oh, bless her. She wants to move back home, but after discussing it, we decided against it. We're concerned it would undo her progress. Are they fucking joking?
Oh my God!
Are they joking? Though we plan to help with job hunting and some financial support, she's upset and feels abandoned. Are we wrong for not letting her move back? Yes, you fucking well are. That is just like...
You run the course of antibiotics. You don't just take the antibiotics and when you start to feel better, you stop taking them. Your kid is always going to have the anxiety issues. And then if they have such a trigger moment of losing their job and then losing their...
The whole world crumbling.
Yeah, they're like, oh, luckily I've got my parents to fall back on. They'll help me out. And they go, fuck off. Yeah. You made so much progress. If you come back, you're going to relapse into anxiety.
Imagine that anxiety that's going to kick off.
She's already anxious as fuck. And they're like, yeah, I don't want it. We've done the hard work. We did it once. It's not a fix-all.
It's a hard job being a parent.
It's hard, but
it's also rewarding.
It's also rewarding. And the rewarding part is that your kids feel safe enough to come home and they don't have like the social stigma around it being like, I'm never moving home with my parents, they're fucking losers. They want to come back. They want to feel the safety net of the house, the home you brought them up in. They feel safe to come back. You let them come back.
Your child wants to speak to you about a problem. You're there to listen, give advice.
That's it.
You're there to also put boundaries in place to make sure that they're not lazy.
Yep.
But there's a fine line. You're not going to overload them with loads of chores to do.
No, but at the same time, it's mental that they are their own case study of it working. Their child had anxiety issues and they talked them through it, helped them, got them prepped to go out there. And, it didn't work out this time. She comes back. We try again.
Yeah.
But mental to be like, well, we did it once. That'll do. Honestly. She's had one and done, mate. That is it.
They should have stuck with dogs, actually.
Well, they have anxiety too. Fucking bonfire night.
Oh, it depends what dog you get. Mine's perfect. She doesn't have anxiety.
Okay, she just sits there silently scared and then diarrhea's all over the carpet.
What? No, she doesn't.
That's what Murphy used to do. Murphy didn't used to get scared. We used to say, oh, he's fine with the fireworks. And then he would just be a cloud of brown. I want one more, please, because I want to have a child that I would close the door on their face.
Well, it's quite...
He would have to be the worst. And I'm saying he as well. I know it's bad, but it just seems like...
perfect.
Yeah. Well, just boys are more likely to be knobheads, aren't they, really?
You ready?
Okay, so your angle here is that you're going to get a kid kicked out? No? What's happening? What's this one?
Let me just tell you, and you can make up.
No.
I have a 27-year-old daughter with 6 kids.
Move out. What? The 27-year-old has 6 kids?
Oh my god.
Okay. If you're old enough for 6 kids,
I mean,
your own house.
My god. Ages 10 months to 10 years. living with us after being evicted. They've been here for over a year, and while we've helped without asking for rent, the house is cramped and they've been asking for extra help. On Christmas Eve, my daughter announced she's pregnant with baby number 7, and my husband and I decided it was time for them to move out. We told them they have 2 months to find a place. My daughter is upset, claiming we're being unfair, and posted on Facebook saying we don't care about her. Am I the arsehole?
All the Facebook thing's rude.
Yeah, I know, but some people just like...
No, but the Facebook's where I'm like, why are you airing out dirty laundry, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
But at the same time, the time to move out was before she got pregnant. Now she's pregnant, that is not the time to move out. That's very much the time to have her stay because she's fucking pregnant. So she's not going to be able to get a job. She's not going to be able to
She's
do
obviously
anything.
a bit careless, isn't she?
Yeah, I know, but there isn't a limit on how many kids you can have. You know, if you want to have another,
I know,
you can
but
have
she's
another.
careless.
But if you can't look after the 6...
Yeah, but she's young. They have no space.
27.
She's not
mad.
even paying rent. So I think she's very careless.
It's looking a gift horse in the mouth, isn't it? That is the example of familiarity breeds contempt. They've had her back in, you know, with the 6 kids. It's cramped, and still she's pushing for more, and they want more help. No rent. They're not helping out. They're obviously their bills must be through the fucking roof.
Yeah, but would you look at their parenting to have a daughter like that?
Part of me, depending on their
Is it
financial situation,
parenting?
the parents, I'd be like, I tell you what, you go away with like take 2 of the kids. We'll look after the other 4. Sort yourself out, and then we'll reconvene, because you're not going to be able to make a go of it with fucking 6 kids and 1 in the oven. You're not going to be able to do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's hard enough to do it by yourself. But also, what's the... Not to be like, oh, the man should be bringing home the money, but what's the fucking partner doing?
Well, she's not mentioned the partner.
Well,
He's definitely around. Cause she's
he's definitely around. Cause, yeah.
She's just had a baby.
Imagine though. Oh, can you watch the kids tonight? And then they get pregnant. Oh, no, that's mental. That's crazy. That is where I'm getting to the limits of being like, you're taking the piss now. You are.
Exactly.
However,
you still
she got a However, you just go, well, if we hadn't have smashed 28 years ago, then this situation wouldn't be happening.
Or if we just were better parents.
Or in like
educated them a bit better.
Or in 5 years when she does move out and she's moved to a different state with the kids and we don't see them as much anymore. Are we going to think back fondly and when we had them all under this roof?
Yeah.
You know, you got to think.
What would you do?
I couldn't kick out my pregnant daughter.
I couldn't either.
She could have
Absolutely
15
not.
kids, and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, I feel like this is getting dangerous that you're having this many kids. But you couldn't do it because that is like the most vulnerable she could be.
Yeah.
You know, and
but then, when do you have to learn a lesson?
Well, what is the lesson to? I mean, what type of family are they from?
Are they for your life?
What are they from? Are they from a family that was open to, you know, talking about, you know, safe sex and stuff like that, or did they like never talk about it and then suddenly she gets pregnant at 16? If she's got a 10-year-old by 27, she got pregnant at 16, and that's, you know, that happens.
I mean, I feel like the parents should have healed before they had children. I'm just going to put it all back on them.
Yeah, you can't always blame the parents for everything though. You can stick on a condom. Jesus Christ.
No, I know. I'm joking.
But like, she got evicted in the first place. Like, could you have, if prevention better than cure, if she already had a place, could you have helped out with that place? But then you got the parents paying 2 rents.
It's hard,
but your dependents now are going to be your dependents until they're fucking 45 years old. They're just going to be your dependents.
I just feel so sorry for the kids, like the grandkids.
That's it, because they didn't choose to be born.
No,
and now they're having to deal with this. And let's face it.
Home. The mum's going to have no money.
And if it's cramped,
can't afford rent.
If it's cramped, you know there's just going to be arguments over everything. You know, the granddad's going to come down one day and he's just going to tread in a bit of spilt milk in his wet socks now, and he's just going to be like, "Fuck, who's done?" And he's just going to. They're not going to see the best out of the granddad, you know?
People complicate life so much, don't they? Obviously, mistakes can happen. Get that's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you're careful, you won't have kids. I do get every 1 in however many can fall pregnant by accident.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never fell pregnant. It's because I've always made certain that I'm okay.
Play it safe.
I mean, this is where one day I do fall pregnant and it happens by accident and I'll be eating my foot, won't I? But
it's a weird craving. But yeah, that one is a difficult one. However, I'm still not kicking her out.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't.
I'd kick the fucking boyfriend out. You can piss off, mate. You're not helping. Actually, you're probably safe for 9 months. You can't get pregnant again. Yeah, but after that, you fuck off. You go away.
Yeah, we don't know about the boyfriend.
Yeah, well, he's got 9 months now. I tell you what, you've got until this baby's born, rent-free. You go out and you just earn, get yourself back on your feet.
No, they'd have to pay rent, but then I'll put in a stash for them.
Yeah, okay, but you know the old like that's like the Britain's Got Talent where it's like I didn't like that.
Oh,
I loved it. So that's where we're at. We're both bleeding hearts, I guess, and we couldn't find a reason as to why we would ever kick our kids out or not let them back in. We'll put a poll out there. Why would you kick your kids out? And we'll just see if there's any reasons because I think people would be struggling.
Yeah, but they could be assholes.
Or they could have been the kids that got kicked out. And how are they doing now? I want to hear if someone got kicked out at like 12. But yeah, thanks for listening. Please rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to it. Yeah, give us a rating.
Give us a tag. Let us know what you think of the episode that you've listened to. We love to read your comments. We love to get feedback. And we'd like to know what you want to listen to as well. So yeah.
And give us a topic and let us run. We're good for anything. All right? Drop us a DM and we'll see you next week.
Have the best week. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. We know time is precious and we thank you for yours. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.